Jackson Radio Show.
Wanted to get your thoughts on the president firing McCabe 2 days before he would have qualified for his pension.
I might have waited until a few hours before.
Oh, no.
Also, all this business about Trump firing people in tweets, there is a point to that. I think he should fire them at rallies.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun?
You'd get more direct feedback about it. But do you think that was a little petty, though, to prevent the guy from getting his pension? I mean, he did give 20 years of service.
Ask Michael Flynn if it's petty.
That was TMZ interviewing Ann Coulter, and she gave her opinions about, obviously, the McCabe firing. And I agree with her wholeheartedly. Hey, welcome back. Kevin Jackson here. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. 844-551-8255. And you know what's cool about that? Coulter is in, I guess, Hollywood, somewhere in L.A., walking down the street. TMZ sees her, so they recognize her. They get her opinion. She's very quippy, which is what she's good at. And I don't know if it was on the show, but somebody got the clip and played it, and then I'm playing it. That's good. That's conservative values transcending into pop culture. And I mean, I don't know that it would have happened to me. I don't think I'm that recognizable, but I think that's very cool that happened. Yeah, maybe it isn't. Anyway, so we've been talking about the firing of McCabe, and that's why I played that clip for one reason. But the other is, according to The Hill, they say that maybe McCabe got Comey in a bit of trouble. And here's what this article says. It says, following his termination late Friday night, former FBI Director Andrew McCabe, or Deputy Director Andrew McCabe declared that he was, quote, singled out after unrelenting attacks by President Trump and critics. McCabe's objections are less than credible, given the virtually unprecedented recommendation of career officials to fire the one-time acting FBI director. Now, I talked about this being, they're going to try to blame Trump and all this. It's certainly coming to fruition because that's the only strategy the left has. They know that McCabe was not fired by Donald Trump. They further know that the actions of McCabe made Donald Trump fire back at him to say he's a crook. And what's funny to me is that people look at that as strange. In this day and time, you are not supposed to protect yourself, men, particularly white men, particularly rich white men, particularly rich white Republican men. You don't protect yourselves. No matter what you're accused of, you're supposed to just take it. Well, Donald Trump's not that way. So anyway, they say this. They go on to say this in The Hill. However, McCabe may have rectified his, quote, singled out status with his long statement criticizing his termination. In the middle of it is a line that could be viewed as incriminating fired FBI Director James Comey, not just in leaking sensitive information, but also in lying to Congress. McCabe is accused of misleading investigators about allegedly giving information to a former Wall Street Journal reporter about the investigation of Hillary Clinton and the Clinton family's charitable foundation. By the way, I told you guys, the Clinton Foundation stuff hasn't ended. That's another huge scandal. I want you to think about the number of huge scandals. Clinton Foundation, Uranium One, Podesta Brothers, Debbie Wasserman Schultz and the Awan brothers, and on and on. There are huge scandals that are just brewing out there. Any one of them can erupt at any time. They're volcanoes. Just think of them as political volcanoes of the Democrats' choosing. And they're ready to erupt. They go on to say this. McCabe asserts in his post-firing statement that he not only had the authority to, quote, share that information to the media, but did so with the knowledge of the director. That means James Comey. Now look, Comey's got enough on his plate besides what McCabe is doing. Comey, if you just go back and look at his testimony based on what we know now, he lied 4, 5, 6 times. I'm talking blatant and obvious. But now, one of his dominoes, one of his critical dominoes, a cog in his wheel has said, hey, I didn't just have the authority to share it. Here's the person who told me it was okay. James Comey. Here's what he said. I chose to share with the reporter through my public affairs officer and a legal counselor. As deputy director, I was one of only a few people who had the authority to do that. It was not a secret. It took place over several days, and others, including the director, were aware of the interaction with the reporter. Now, bam, bam, pow. I don't know about you. That says to me, McCabe is saying, I ain't going down unless other people are coming with me. See, that right there is enough to put the spotlight right back on old Jimmy. Old James, Jimmy, come here, boy. So James Comey now has been called out by his former underling, who, by the way, don't cry for me, Argentina, McCabe, worth $11 million. He's not going to struggle. His wife, I don't know what she's doing, but she's probably still employed. And I don't know if this is true. I heard he's on with CNN. Did he get hired by CNN? People were alluding that he got a job at CNN. I wouldn't be surprised. So we've got McCabe, who's worth millions of dollars. Oh, one other quick point. A group of leftist knucklebucks are fundraising for McCabe. They want to raise $200,000 for some reason. I don't know. That's what I saw. It was like a GoFundMe thing. I'm just telling you, there are people out there, there are leftists who are going, he got railroaded, man. I mean, that millionaire, that multimillionaire white dude, he needs some help. So they want to raise him $200,000 to fight his case or to replace his pension. I don't know what the nonsense is. That's what they're fighting for. A dude McCabe should donate his pension. In fact, all the leftists who have a net worth of over $1 million should forego their pensions. Wouldn't that be a nice piece of legislation? I'd love to see that. They said, the Hill goes on to write this. If the interaction means leaking the information, then, because what he said, McCabe used the word interaction. That's what they're talking about. They said, if the interaction means leaking the information, then McCabe's statement would seem to directly contradict statements made by Comey in May of 2017 at a congressional hearing. Asked if he had, quote, ever been an anonymous source in news reports about matters related to the Trump investigation or the Clinton investigation, or whether he had ever authorized someone else at the FBI to be an anonymous source in news reports about the Trump investigation or the Clinton investigation, Comey replied, never and no. The Justice Department's IG clearly saw this interaction as problematic when they sought answers from McCabe. If the Inspector General considered this to be a leak to the media, any approval by Comey would be highly significant. Comey, this writer writes, already faces serious questions over his use of a Columbia University Law School professor to leak information to the media following his own termination as director. I'm seeing the hammer falling down on Jimmy Comey. See, here's what I'm saying, and I said this earlier, and I'll be saying it for a while. McCabe is patient zero. Now, here's what's really interesting about this, because I'm kind of wrong. Technically, Barack Obama is patient zero. Everything, all this nastiness, all this bad stuff that's happening to the Democrats is based on one singular thing that is the epicenter of evil for the Democrats, and it is Barack Obama, the guy who they put all their marbles into his basket, and he promptly sold them, he pawned them, and then he went and did his own thing. And that's what Barack Obama's doing right now. And what's funny is Barack Obama, here's a quandary within the Democrats. Barack Obama has so much dirt on all of them, they have trouble touching him. Oh yeah, Barack Obama has that big database. And we'll talk about that with the respect to Facebook too. That's an interesting saga all in and of itself. Facebook saying the Trump campaign got 50 million emails. Man, they weren't supposed to get those emails and that data. That's an interesting thing. I'll bring that up another time. But here's what I will tell you. Barack Obama built that big database. He used the NSA and all these people exactly the way he used to get elected. He got all the dirt. Believe me, Barack Obama has dirt on everybody who matters, everybody that will be impacted by the dirt. He probably got dirt on me, and I'm like, I don't care. Say the dirt. Spread the dirt, Barack. So, but he's got all that dirt. They need to go after him. They know he's the man. If somebody turns on him, it is what it is. But people are stopping it because Barack Obama is the keeper of the dirt. That's it in a nutshell. I think it's an interesting story.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.